Welcome and thank you for joining me. My name's Nick Barnsdall and I'm here to help you in your business.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Soraen Podcast. Thanks for all the great feedback we had on our previous episode. It was really good to hear. If you'd like to leave feedback, you can do that at soraen.com, S-O-R-A-E-N, or on Twitter at Soraen Podcast. Today I've got a very special guest, Nick Barnsdall, who is a consultant and involved in venture capital. He's also previously the CEO of Hyundai Construction Equipment Australia. Welcome, Nick.
Thanks, Ian. Super excited to be here.
Excellent.
Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you. So, to give the listeners and viewers in this case, because we are videoing the podcast for the first time, which is exciting, to give the listeners and viewers a little bit of feedback and information around your background, could you tell us a little bit about how you've come to be doing what you're doing today?
Okay, so, long story short, I've been involved in small, medium and large business all my life since I was 3 years old, basically involved in family business. I suppose it's just one of those kids that was always looking to earn a buck, and therefore as a young kid, 10, 11, 12, always had 2, 3 part-time jobs, and I suppose I got exposure for the first 20 years of my life. Got exposure to a lot of different sizes of business, and more importantly, a lot of different ownership structures, a lot of different owners of businesses and the way they ran those, and then probably still a young guy in my late 20s, ended up CEO of and one of the founders of Hyundai Construction Equipment Australia, here in Australia, which was a startup company. We started from scratch and ended up a reasonably sizable company. So 10 years stint there was fairly long.
And by reasonable size, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars, aren't we?
Yeah, well, we're in excess of 100 million a year turnover.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So we created a few other entities around that. So not just the sale of construction equipment, but also the financing of that. So we created a finance company to support the sales entity, and also rental of the equipment as well. So people that were looking to or had a need for equipment, for heavy equipment, but not necessarily sure of the longevity of their contract, may have wanted to hire some equipment over a short or a medium term, and so we created a hire company in there as well. So everything sort of ended up quite vertically integrated.
Right. So could you tell us a little bit about what you're doing these days?
So as I say, my passion has been around business of all sorts of shapes and sizes. So I do a bit of venture capital. I do some private lending to businesses, so funding through lending and also equity. So purchasing parts of startup businesses, or I deal a lot with distressed businesses also.
Right.
So come in. If a business has got its troubles, work out a plan to get them out of that, and then obviously come in behind that with some funding, whether that be debt or equity in that business to get it back on track and
Right.
Help it live again.
Yeah, indeed. So could you tell us a little bit about the challenges that you're seeing out there, at the moment, and what are business leaders facing?
I suppose in terms of challenges, it's a tough one to pinpoint because I guess every situation is a little bit different, right? But I suppose a common theme, just to try and give some value, is a common theme there is probably around the disruption.
Right. Yeah.
I suppose which I sort of would term as just people looking for efficiency, driving efficiency in their businesses for more productivity coming out. So I guess it depends which side of the coin you're on. You can, to me, this disruption term is really just evolution. It's human nature, like from man inventing the wheel. Like we've always just tried to get everything in life better, more enhanced, and so I guess people probably aren't so aware of their own individual situation as which side of the coin they're on. Are they traditional taxis, hypothetically, or are they Uber? And I suppose normally there's a lot of that at play in businesses that are having a bit of trouble at the moment. Are they going to end up where Kodak is now, or are they going to try and be the next Apple? That's kind of a key issue, I would say.
And so, what are you seeing successful businesses doing well?
Well, exactly that. As I say, it's with the disruption, there's two sides of the coin there. So, really, the ones that are doing well are the ones that are looking for more efficiencies, getting the product to market, getting the service to market, looking at themselves in terms of their existing business, changing their model, trying to either get their existing product to market in a far better, whether it be a platform or just getting it to market a lot more efficiently, so the customer has a better experience. Like really, that's what any business is about, is the end user, right? That's what keeps people coming back. So we're in an interesting time where you've got people or a certain segment of society that hasn't really changed the way that they're doing business in the last 15 or 20 years. The ones that are doing well are the ones that are basing their business around all the technology and that's available today.
And that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, a lot of businesses, they either, I guess your options are either you use the technology to find efficiency within your business, or you use it, or use the technology to actually change your business model and do something a little bit differently. Yeah,
absolutely. Or you've got the bunch that bury their head in the sands and don't want to know about it at all, right? So that's the third category, and that's obviously the ones that are struggling a bit. And I suppose you've got the ones that have been in business for a long time. They could be multi-generational, or they're elder people that have just had a business for a long time, and so they've got the capital and the foundation and the backing to keep them going. And so it's probably a death by 1,000 cuts scenario, but they've got enough behind them to sort of keep them going, maybe for their life, but the business won't be growing, it'll be going backwards. I think that's that's what's going well. Like, I see a lot of good stuff in branding. A lot of people are doing some fantastic things with the branding of their stores, whether that be bricks and mortar or e-com. There's a lot of attention to detail, and that kind of, I suppose, the customer experience now, in a highly competitive society, which, again, you think back, you don't have to go back too far, where you still have successful businesses that didn't have to have that, but now you see it's a key forefront. Any startup, any new business, they've really got that branding slick. It's good right from the get-go, even when they're non-commercial. Yeah, it's
so accessible for consumers or potential clients, isn't it?
Absolutely.
With the internet and whatnot. So if you were engaging with a business leader today, what sort of things, what sort of recommendations do you make of things that they can do, I guess in the short term, to start taking their business in the right direction?
Look, hey, I suppose ultimately running a business, owning a business is about control. I think if you ask anyone in business, why are they in business? Is it because they didn't want to work for the man? Is it because they want to have the holidays that they want to have, the time off they want to have, the lifestyle that they want to have? Or is it that they've got some sort of cause that they want to try and have their input on, and obviously, for all the right reasons, trying to improve some sort of situation, some cause out there. So, but all of those things add up to someone actually having control around that destiny, I suppose. Really, you see a lot of businesses out there that the owners or the leaders of their businesses don't have that control, and that's where things start getting. So it's about really understanding the business, getting into the mechanics of the business, knowing what the key metrics are. The personalities within the business, are all those personalities, are they gelling well? Are all the gears synchronising to have everything going well? And getting in and making those adjustments, controlling the business, having the levers and controlling it, controlling outcomes.
Do you see gaps there quite a bit in businesses that you go into, obviously without getting into specifics, but people have a vision of the business community knowing what they're doing, it's running like a well-oiled machine, and it's probably not always the case.
Oh yeah, often not the case. I guess I think people get into this comfort zone, where there's a level of mediocrity is accepted, and I suppose they get past the startup phase and then get into this plateau phase, and things are trundling along, but there's probably a few wobbly wheels on the cart going down the hill there, and so they tend to relax a little bit, and rather than actually keep pushing and understanding where growth. Hey, I'm a big believer that every business should be continuing to grow. I often say there, if you're not growing, you're shrinking, which that's what I believe is obviously you're getting market share taken off all the time. So you should always have your business focused on growth. Mm-hmm. And to do that, you again come back to that control word. You've got to know, hey, your people. You've got to know your market. You've got to know your product or your service, and understand how can you get the growth, and how can you do it in an efficient manner. So again, comes back to that productivity. How do we get more coming out of the engine in a more efficient manner at the front end. So so it's really it is a key thing. People get to that point and they really just get comfortable and relaxed, and therefore they lose that control on the business. Things start. So having to keep people around and make sure that everybody's working to keep growing that business.
Excellent.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching the show today. If you've got any comments or feedbacks, hop on our website or connect with us on social. Rate and review. If you like the show, that's great. If you didn't, we want to hear from that too. Or you can email me directly if you've got any questions, nb@nickbarnsdall.com.